Good evening and welcome to a summary of the news. His Majesty the King held talks with French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris, focusing on regional and international developments and means of cementing cooperation and partnership between the two countries. The two leaders emphasized the importance of maintaining consultation and coordination on various issues of mutual interest and expanding cooperation in the economic and military fields. In joint remarks to reporters after the talks, His Majesty the King said he was delighted to visit France again and meet with President Macron, stressing ties between the two countries as historic. His Majesty also congratulated President Macron on his election and expressed his hope to work with the French President to boost relations between the two countries and bring about security and stability in the Middle East and the world. The Cabinet approved during a session chaired by Prime Minister Hani al-Mulki a request made by Office of the UN Under-Secretary General for Political Affairs to temporarily move the Office of the UN Special Envoy to Yemen from New York to Jordan. The decision to move the office reflects the international community's confidence in Jordan's capabilities and the importance of its role to achieve regional security and stability. An agreement will be signed between the two sides later to move the office to enable it to continue efforts that aim at restoring security and stability in Yemen. Minister of Foreign and Expatriate Affairs Ayman Fadi met with EU Special Representative for the Middle East Peace Process Fernando Gentilini and discussed with him efforts to relaunch serious and effective negotiations between the Palestinians and Israelis to arrive at a solution to the conflict on the basis of a two-state solution. Fadi also met with the Chinese Special Envoy to Syria, Chi Chaoyan, and reviewed with him the Syrian crisis as well as efforts to end fighting in the country and reach a political solution to the crisis. Israeli soldiers shot and killed a Palestinian who allegedly tried to stab them in the occupied West Bank. The Israeli military said the soldiers were responding to an immediate threat when they opened fire on 23-year-old Baha al-Harbawi. At least 253 Palestinians and one Jordanian citizen have been killed since the violence began in 2015. The Iraqi army said it had encircled Daesh's stronghold in the old city of Mosul after taking over an area to the north of the densely populated historic district. The army's 9th Armored Division seized Al-Shifa district, which includes the city's main hospitals, alongside the western bank of the Tigris River. And in neighboring Syria, the terrorists are also retreating. Syrian Democratic Forces are pressing their offensive against Daesh in Raqqa, advancing further towards the city center. The SDF have seized territory to the north, east and west of Raqqa, a city that served as Daesh's base of operations for more than 3 years. June 20 is World Refugee Day, when the United Nations honors the strength, courage and perseverance of millions of refugees. The UN argues that in a world where violence forces thousands of families to flee for their lives each day, the time is now to show that the global public stands with refugees. And it says that every minute, 20 people leave everything behind to escape war, persecution or terror. This week, UNHCR said a record 65.6 million people worldwide were forced from their homes due to conflict or persecution by the end of 2016. In a statement to mark World Refugee Day, UN High Commissioner for Refugees Filippo Grandi paid tribute to the millions of displaced and the host countries, saying we should honor the resilience and courage of the millions who have been forced to flee the war and recognize the communities around the world who received them. U.S. student Otto Warmbier, who was imprisoned in North Korea for 17 months before being returned home in a coma less than a week ago, died in a Cincinnati hospital. His family released a statement saying the awful, torturous mistreatment their son received at the hands of the North Koreans ensured that no other outcome was possible. According to North Korean media, Warmbier was arrested and sentenced to 15 years of hard labor for trying to steal an item bearing a propaganda slogan. He was freed after a U.S. envoy traveled to Pyongyang and demanded the student's release on humanitarian grounds. Londoners from a variety of faith backgrounds have been gathering to break the Ramadan fast at a series of iftar events run by a group that hopes to bring British society together. Hours after a man drove a van into worshippers outside a North London mosque, injuring 11 people, hundreds of the capital's residents came together to eat dates and drink water at sunset to end the fast, not far from the scene of the attack. The gathering is meant to show how people from different backgrounds can unite in a common cause through shared understanding. Three students have made colorful popsicles out of polluted water in Taiwan, aiming to raise awareness of the issue of water pollution and the contrast between the pleasant appearance and dirty content. The visual communication design students at National Taiwan University of Arts sampled polluted water from 100 water sources, making 100 popsicles in a project that took 7 months to complete. The project received massive attention, and the video of the making has gone viral with some 1.8 million views online. And finally, pleasant conditions continue across the kingdom for the rest of tonight with northwesterly light to moderate winds. Tomorrow, though, a slight drop in temperature is expected. It will be relatively hot in most regions with a high of 29 degrees Celsius in Amman, dropping down to 17 degrees at night. The Gulf of Aqaba should expect hot and dry conditions with a high of 40 degrees, while winds will be northerly moderate and the seas calm. And that's all for tonight. Thank you for joining us and have a pleasant evening. Bye.